the gift in the mirror. It was Christmas Eve when Maria found a beautifully wrapped gift sitting on her doorstep. The box was covered in shimmering red paper with a silver bow, but there was no card or return address. She lived alone, so it was strange. No one had mentioned sending her a gift. Curiosity got the better of her, and she brought the box inside. The air was filled with the scent of pine and cinnamon as Christmas music played softly in the background. She poured herself a glass of wine, sat by the tree, and began unwrapping the mysterious present. Inside, nestled in soft tissue paper, was a delicate hand mirror with an ornate, antique silver frame. The glass was smooth, almost too perfect, as if it had never been touched by time. Maria held it up, admiring the craftsmanship, but as she gazed into the reflection, something felt off. Her own face stared back, but just for a moment. Then, the image flickered. The reflection was no longer hers. The eyes looking back were darker, filled with a cold, hollow sadness, and the lips curved into a sinister smile that wasn't her own. Maria's breath caught in her throat. She dropped the mirror onto the couch, heart racing. Shaking it off as her imagination playing tricks on her, she picked it up again, telling herself it was just fatigue from the holiday rush. But when she looked into the glass this time, the reflection spoke. "Thank you for opening the gift," the reflection said in a soft, mocking tone. Its eyes locked onto hers, cold and unblinking. "I've been waiting to meet you." Maria's blood ran cold, her fingers trembling around the handle. Who are you?" she stammered. The reflection's grin widened. "I'm what comes after the gift is opened," it whispered, the voice echoing unnaturally in her ears. "I've been trapped for so long, but now you've set me free." Suddenly, the room around her began to warp and blur, as if the world beyond the mirror was more real than the one she was standing in. The lights on her Christmas tree flickered, casting strange shadows that danced across the walls. The scent of pine and cinnamon turned bitter like rotting leaves. Panicking, Maria tried to put the mirror down, but her hands wouldn't let go. It felt as if the handle had fused to her skin. The reflection's eyes were gleaming with cruel delight, and its lips moved silently as if reciting some ancient incantation. Maria's surroundings continued to distort, the walls bending inward, trapping her. The reflection leaned closer, its face now almost pressed against the inside of the glass. "It's lonely in here," it whispered, "but don't worry, you'll keep me company." Before she could scream, the room spun violently, and in a flash, everything went dark. When Maria opened her eyes, she found herself staring out of the mirror, but from the inside. She screamed, pounding her fists against the cold glass, but no sound escaped. Her apartment looked normal, but she was no longer part of it. She was trapped within the antique frame, her voice silent, her pleas unheard. On the other side, the reflection, now free, smiled and adjusted its new face, stretching Maria's lips into a satisfied grin. It picked up the mirror, admired its reflection, and whispered, "Merry Christmas." With a laugh that echoed eerily through the apartment, the new Maria set the mirror back in its box, rewrapped it, and tied the silver bow neatly on top. Then, humming a cheerful carol, she placed it by the door, ready to deliver it to her next unsuspecting recipient. The cycle would continue. After all, it was the season of giving.